What if I told you that the most revolutionary business model of the 21st century wasn't an invention? It was an accident. An accident that turned the simple act of renting a basement into a $100 billion empire, and in the process transformed every single tech CEO into a medieval landlord and the rest of us into serfs. Welcome to Tech Onion, the one place that peels back the layers of technological hype to reveal the core truth that mainstream tech media is too scared or too well funded to tell you. Today, we tell the tale of the merchant of cloud. In the year of our digital Lord 2013, the world was simple. The cloud was where rain came from, and you bought software in a box. But in the coffee-stained halls of Amazon, a discovery was about to be made that would change everything. Jeff Bezos, our bald prophet of consumer capitalism, gazed upon his vast empire of servers and had a thought that would echo through Silicon Valley for eternity. Why sell the books when you can rent the shelf? This wasn't some grand vision, it was mundane. Amazon needed servers to run its own website. They had extra space, so they started renting it out. It was the digital equivalent of a landlord realizing he could charge startups to exist in his basement. But in this simple idea, a poison pill was hiding. Amazon had accidentally solved the oldest problem in tech: how to make customers pay you forever for something they could theoretically just buy once. The subscription economy wasn't born from innovation. It was born from the ruthless, beautiful efficiency of making essential services perpetually expensive. Amazon's CTO Werner Vogels faced a Shakespearean dilemma: to rent or not to rent. But the answer was obvious: rent, always rent, forever rent. Their masterstroke wasn't the technology, it was psychology. They convinced a generation of entrepreneurs that owning your own servers was as old-fashioned as owning a horse. That true freedom was perpetual technological serfdom. The model was viciously elegant. Offer a service so cheap it's impossible to refuse. Wait until everyone is completely and utterly dependent on it. And then, slowly, turn the screws. It was digital heroin disguised as technological liberation. And of course, Silicon Valley noticed. Ambitious executives studied Amazon's playbook with the devotion of monks copying scripture. The great infrastructure gold rush began. Google, Microsoft, even Oracle, that ancient keeper of database mysteries, they all suddenly realized they weren't in the software business anymore. They were in the AI infrastructure business. It's the same pattern. A shameless cosplay of the AWS model identifies something essential, in this case, the very idea of artificial intelligence. Make it so complex and expensive that no one can build it themselves, and then rent it back to them forever. OpenAI charges you by the word. Google rents you intelligence by the query. Microsoft sells you cognitive services by the minute. The meter is always running. They've learned Amazon's lesson by heart. Never sell what you can rent. Never rent what you can meter. And never ever meter what you can make absolutely essential for survival. And the most beautiful, most absurd part of this new AI boom, its scarcity is completely artificial. Amazon servers cost real money, they took up real space, but AI, processing power, is abundant. Knowledge is infinite, but access is metered, rationed, and restricted. The tech giants have perfected the art of selling you air 1 cubic foot at a time. They've learned that manufactured scarcity drives infinite revenue. This is the Prometheus complex. The cloud was supposed to democratize technology, to give power to the little guy. Instead, it created a handful of gods. AI was supposed to democratize intelligence. Instead, it's creating cognitive cartels. We aren't being empowered, we're being enslaved. We're not being enabled, we're being extracted from. As we stand here in 2025, watching AI startups raise billions to become the AWS of intelligence, we have to acknowledge what Amazon truly built. Not a business, but a new form of economic organization: digital feudalism. In this new world, you don't own your tools. You rent them. You don't control your platforms. You subscribe to them. Intelligence itself is now a service. Creativity is a commodity. Human thought is a billable resource. The final, brutal irony is that Amazon just stumbled into this, but every company since has been trying to recreate that accident on purpose, because the merchant of cloud taught Silicon Valley the single greatest business lesson of all time. Don't sell people what they want. Rent them what they absolutely cannot live without. So, what do you think? Are we witnessing the birth of AI feudalism? Or is this just natural evolution? Was AWS an accident or a masterclass in strategy? And most importantly, when everything becomes a subscription, what happens to the very idea of ownership? Let us know your war stories and predictions in the comments below.